Hello everyone, I'm Borneo. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking about sloths. Yeah, those adorable slow-motion furballs.
If there is one animal on Earth that treats the word hustle like a personal insult, it is the sloth. They move so slowly that algae grows on their fur. They climb down from trees exactly once a week, and only to do something we all do. But they make it look like a death-defying stunt. You would think a creature this lazy would be at the bottom of the food chain, struggling to survive. But here is the twist. Sloths have been thriving on this planet for 64 million years. They outlived the dinosaurs, survived multiple ice ages, and watched countless highly efficient predators rise and fall. So, before you judge them for being slow, maybe ask yourself, who is actually winning the survival game? Let's find out. Let's start with the basics, because sloth biology is basically nature's ultimate power-saving mode. Their body temperature hovers around 30 to 33 degrees Celsius, which is several degrees lower than ours. This is not a medical condition. It is a deliberate evolutionary strategy. By running cooler, they slash their metabolic rate to a fraction of what most mammals need. They do not just move slowly, they exist slowly. A single meal can take up to 30 days to fully digest. 30 days. By the time a sloth finishes processing a leaf, you have already forgotten what you had for lunch 3 weeks ago, changed your career path, and started a new hobby. Their stomach is so massive, it takes up nearly a third of their body weight, acting like a biological fermentation tank. Bacteria do the heavy lifting, breaking down tough, toxic leaves that would kill almost anything else. The sloth just sits there, letting chemistry do the work. It is not laziness. It is extreme efficiency disguised as doing absolutely nothing. They are the original masters of passive income, except instead of money, they are harvesting calories from leaves that taste like cardboard and regret. And speaking of doing nothing, let's talk about their fur. To the casual observer, a sloth looks like a mossy rock with a face. That green tint is not camouflage paint. It is literally a garden growing on their back. Specialized algae thrive in their coarse hair, turning them into a living, breathing ecosystem. But the algae is just the landlord. The real tenants are moths, beetles, ticks, and fungi. Over 900 moths can live in a single sloth's coat, spending their entire life cycle there. It sounds absolutely disgusting if you think about it too hard, but it is a brilliantly symbiotic arrangement. The sloth gets camouflage and extra nutrients from licking the algae. The moths get a warm, mobile apartment with excellent ventilation. And once a week, when the sloth climbs down to the forest floor to relieve itself, the moths seize the opportunity to lay eggs in the dung. The cycle completes, everyone wins, and the sloth gets back to hanging upside down like a furry hammock. Evolution really said, why fight nature when you can just become a walking hotel? It is a partnership so tight that if you removed the sloth, the ecosystem would collapse. They are not just animals. They are mobile biodiversity hotspots. Now, about that weekly trip to the bathroom. It is the most dangerous thing a sloth does, and yet they insist on doing it with the dedication of a clockwork toy. Sloths spend almost their entire lives in the canopy. They eat, sleep, mate, and give birth without ever touching the ground. They are so committed to vertical living that they even deliver their babies upside down. And the newborn instinctively grabs on to the mother's fur, starting its life as a permanent accessory. But once every 7 days, they climb down, dig a small pit, and defecate. On the ground, they are painfully vulnerable. They move at roughly 2 meters per minute. A determined garden snail might actually overtake them. Jaguars, eagles, and large snakes patrol the forest floor. And statistics show that more than half of all sloth deaths happen during this weekly commute. So why risk it? Scientists have a few theories. Maybe it is about communication, leaving chemical signals for potential mates. Maybe it is about fertilizing their favorite trees, ensuring their food source keeps growing. Or maybe, just maybe, they are keeping the moth ecosystem alive. Because without that dung drop, the entire symbiotic chain collapses. Whatever the reason, it is a ritual so deeply ingrained that they would rather face a jaguar than change their schedule. That is not stubbornness. That is commitment. It is the biological equivalent of refusing to switch to a different brand of toilet paper because you know exactly how it works. If you are enjoying this deep dive into nature's most relaxed masterpiece, do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, tap the like icon, and ring the notification bell. It takes 2 seconds, costs you nothing, and make sure you never miss the next episode where we unravel even weirder animal mysteries. Your support literally keeps this channel running, and I appreciate every single one of you. Algorithms are ruthless, but your clicks keep the lights on, so thank you for being part of this community. Back to the sloth. When you look at their track record, the numbers are staggering. 64 million years. They belong to a lineage that watched continents drift, climates shift, and ecosystems collapse. Meanwhile, animals that were faster, stronger, and supposedly smarter, like the saber-toothed cat or the giant ground sloth, are nothing but bones in a museum. The modern tree sloth survived by opting out of the rat race entirely. They do not compete for territory. They do not waste energy on unnecessary movement. They eat what nobody else wants. They sleep up to 20 hours a day. In human terms, we would call that a failed lifestyle. In evolutionary terms, it is a masterclass in risk management. They consume only about 110 calories a day. That is less than a single apple. While we are out here stressing over diets, gym memberships, and productivity hacks, the sloth is living proof that sometimes the best strategy is to just slow down, conserve your energy, and let the world spin without you. They are the original minimalists. They do not need much. They do not want much. And they certainly do not care about your quarterly earnings report. But here is the bitter irony. Humans are finally waking up to the benefits of a slower pace. We talk about mindfulness, digital detoxes, and work-life balance. We romanticize the slow living movement. We buy journals about doing less and being more. Yet, the original masters of slow living are disappearing. Deforestation, road construction, and illegal wildlife trade are tearing apart their rainforest homes. Sloths cannot adapt quickly. They cannot migrate fast. They cannot outpace a chainsaw. Their population has dropped by nearly 40% in just 3 decades. We are idolizing their lifestyle while actively destroying the very environment that makes it possible. It is a cruel joke. We want to be more like sloths. But our version of efficiency is making sure they will not be around to inspire us. Conservation is not just about saving an animal. It is about preserving a 64-million-year-old lesson in sustainability. If we lose them, we lose the reminder that success does not always require speed. We lose the proof that you can thrive by simply refusing to play a game that was rigged against you from the start. And before you write them off as helpless, let us shatter a few myths. Sloths are not useless. They just allocate their skills differently. Put a sloth in water, and suddenly it transforms. They are surprisingly strong swimmers, moving 3 times faster than on land, and can hold their breath for up to 40 minutes by slowing their heart rate. They are basically underwater ninjas. Their grip strength is legendary. Their tendons lock into place mechanically, meaning they can hang upside down for hours without using any muscle energy. They do not fight gravity. They outsmart it. Even after death, a sloth will often remain clamped to a branch because their anatomy is literally designed to never let go. And their necks? They can rotate their heads 270 degrees, giving them a panoramic view without moving their bodies. It is the ultimate security camera setup, powered by biology. They did not evolve to be fast. They evolved to be secure, efficient, and incredibly resilient in their own niche. They are not broken machines. They are perfectly tuned instruments, playing a different song. So, what is the takeaway? The sloth is not a biological mistake. It is a testament to the fact that there is no single right way to survive. Intelligence is not just about processing speed. It is about knowing when to conserve, when to hide, and when to trust your environment. In a world obsessed with optimization, the sloth stands as a quiet rebel. They prove that you do not need to conquer nature to thrive in it. You just need to find your rhythm, stick to it, and ignore the noise. They remind us that patience is not passive. It is a strategy. That stillness is not weakness. It is a fortress. And that sometimes the smartest move you can make is to simply stop moving. Now I want to hear from you. In the comments below, tell me your honest take. Do you see sloths as evolutionary geniuses who crack the code to long-term survival? Or do you think their extreme specialization makes them too vulnerable in our rapidly changing world? I read every comment, and I will be highlighting the most thought-provoking perspectives in future videos. Drop your thoughts, debate with each other, and let us keep the conversation going. Your insights make this community stronger, and I genuinely want to know where you stand. If you enjoyed this journey into the slow lane, thank you for sticking around. Remember to check out the next video, where we will be diving into the surprisingly dark and clever world of crows. You will not look at birds the same way again. Until then, stay curious, question everything, and maybe take a page from the Sloth's book. Slow down, breathe, and let the algae grow. I will see you in the next one.